Alrighty, let's pick up our next one. We have, I believe, Tiger.
Hey, what's up,
Hey,
guys?
how you doing, Tiger? Hey.
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. I kind of had a topic I don't think you guys cover very much. I'm a Native American. I'm a member of the Seneca Cayuga tribe in northeast Oklahoma. And I'm here to tell you, Christianity specifically has pretty much destroyed that tribe.
Oh, really? How so?
You wouldn't believe... Huh?
Oh, I was just wondering,
No,
the
it's
specifics of... Sorry.
Well, it's taken a foothold in that tribe over the last 40 or 50 years. I'm 60 years old now, and I've always been an atheist. But they slip it into the tribal meetings. I'd say about half the members are really, really religious. And I mean deep Christian values. And they try and press that on the rest of the tribal members. And they make fun of the other members who were like, most natives were pantheists. And they like throwing that in their face, that they don't believe in Jesus. And, you know, they just give them a lot of crap. But I actually moved because of what they were doing to the tribe as a whole, to the people. I know the Navajos are really good. Navajos are really deeply spiritually pantheistic, and I appreciate that. I mean, I can see that point of view. You know, I can see being a pantheist or being a solipsist. I don't have a problem with those, but I do have a problem with the Judeo-Christian lines of religion.
Okay, I can definitely see. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Oh, I was just going to say you're not going to find a lot of disagreement from us there. So I think the main point that we could get into is, you know, what does this damage look like? I definitely agree. I think that Christianity, especially the way it asserts itself over other people's religions, and it makes themselves, the way it tries to make people feel about their heritage and their beliefs, is not great. So I'm right on board. But John, go ahead.
Yeah, and and I'm not deeply spiritual. I don't believe in that either.
Right.
And I paid for my college. I played college football. I have 3 master's degrees. I paid for all those on my own, and I just see the way that they flounder this money in there, and they actually tie a lot of you getting money as a tribal member to how you tie in with the council, which is really Christian. They actually say prayers to Jesus before they have their meetings, and I've been debating ministers since like 1979, right in there. I mean, I know I'm older than you two guys. I don't think either one of you is 60. And it just, the arguments are the same. They have not changed their arguments. William Lane Craig hasn't brought anything new to the table. I just think that we've filtered out a lot of their bad arguments, but I look at this as a war. I take a real hardline approach to it. I don't get involved with it on the level of trying to convince them of my way. And it's not all of them. It's that really diehard group. But I don't think that's going to be won by trying to convert these people. I don't think they're going to convert. You know, this is a war. You bring everything to the table, and you know, slam them as much as you can. And when I used to do the debates, it's real easy to get into it because they're looking for a sacrificial lamb. They want to bring in front of their congregation, you know, because you're not playing home field. You're the away team, and they love that. And a lot of these ministers, they try and make you into a whipping boy. And I found that out real quick. I've probably done a couple of 1,000 debates, and it's just the arguments are the same. I get really sick of hearing the same shit. You think that once you come up with a good, you know, logical response to what they're saying, You can't use logic on these people. It doesn't work.
Yeah, the point of apologetics is really not to... I was just going to say, the point of apologetics really isn't to absorb new ideas and kind of have a fluid conversation with the world. It's to generally have an inward-focused conversation. Like you said, having a whipping boy helps with that. Bringing up easy softball arguments and knocking them out of the park. Basically, it's all about making sure you feel good about yourself. And I think or you feel good about your faith. And I think we're pretty clear about that. But John, go ahead. I've cut you off a couple times.
Well, I was just going to say that evangelicals are typically the ones to blame for ruining the culture of I guess indigenous people of other nations and even North America, because the evangelicals will go on these mission trips and they'll try to bring the word of the Lord to the indigenous people wherever they're at. Now, sometimes that can be dangerous. Like the one guy who was over, I can't remember what country he was in, but there was an island where everybody was like, don't go there and try to preach Jesus. They will kill you. And he was like, you know what? Nah, they ain't going to kill me. And so he went to the island and he got killed. And it happened like a couple of years ago, I think. But it's very sad. But it's just the fact that Christians think that everybody needs to hear about Jesus and everybody needs to convert to Christianity, and they don't care about somebody else's culture or religion. They just want you to believe in Jesus. Damn the consequences.
Yep.
As long as you're a Christian, it's perfectly fine. So they definitely do have a very long history of going in and destroying the culture and destroying entire people. Conquistadors and stuff.
Well, the whole thing started, as far as I can remember, because I was born in like 1960, and the whole thing started that I remember was Jerry Falwell and Pat Robinson, because they started the Moral Majority, and they united Christians, or they united these religions as Christians, because before that, everybody looked down on Catholics, the Protestants. You had Protestants and Catholics, and then they united this group, and they all of a sudden became Christians, So they didn't believe the same thing, but they united that power together, and that's when they started really gaining traction in this country, was under Ronald Reagan. And it's just escalated. It's snowballed. I've seen it firsthand.
One of the big...
I don't, like I say, oh, go ahead.
One of the big issues I see, I can't speak from the experience of an indigenous person. I grew up within Christianity, but one of the big issues I see, and one of the just huge fundamental moral failings here, is just a lack of empathy for the people you're interacting with. Like a Christian, I don't think lets it enter their head what it would be like if somebody else entered their culture and tried to push their own religion on them or tried to convert them.
Sure.
And a lack of understanding about what that's like. Even if you're not spiritual yourself, there was a spiritual history there for a lot of those people, and they had beliefs that might have been as important to them as Christianity. And the fact that when you're moving into those places to aggressively try to convert them, the fact that you don't really try to understand what their perspective is and what your message sounds like coming to them, it's this whole thing where they think everybody needs salvation and everybody wants God, and that they're doing everybody a favor when really they're not. And I think that's one of the huge destructive things that are going on.
They're trying to shoehorn their beliefs through the legal system. That's where I get upset, is when they try and violate everyone else's rights, and now it's their First Amendment right not to wear a mask because it's a religious thing. I don't know if you know, I'm in Colorado, and do you remember that gay wedding cake fiasco?
Yeah.
They wouldn't make a wedding cake for the gay couple. Well, I'll be honest with you. I think you have the right not to serve anybody you don't want to. I don't give a shit why. And if it's something that's illegal, that's a matter for the courts. But then they turn around now and they're throwing that away because they're like, well, you can't violate my right to wear a mask. And they're going into private businesses and saying, well, you have to serve me because I'm a member of the public. And it's like, no, they don't. They don't have to serve you for any reason whatsoever.
Yeah, there's a huge bit of hypocrisy to that. I find that really repugnant. But John, why don't you go ahead and we'll wrap this up? I have a hard 5:30 or bottom of the hour deadline. So, John, why don't you wrap up your thoughts, and we'll try to get a couple more callers in here.
Well, thanks for letting me get my message across. Hey, I got to tell you, I watch both of you guys online. I love you. You guys are, you're, it feels so good knowing there's people like you out there actually getting the message out.
Well, I really appreciate that.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Yeah,
we're going to let you go. I appreciate the call.
For quite a while.
Well, thank you. I'm going to let you go. We'll let John wrap up his thoughts and move on. All right, thank you. All right, sorry, John, I think you're trying to get some... What's that?
Hello, sinners. It's me, and you're watching The Line. Hit that subscribe button and consider ringing that bell, because if you do, an angel will get its wings.